All right.
I'm going to have to do this on the computer.
Do it on the computer, Steve. It'll be easier on the computer.
Ryan, Revolution. They're the best white guy reggae band from San Diego.
Are they from San Diego?
I think so.
I'd never heard of them. Hey everyone, my name is Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle on the guitar, buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
Or video cast. Tubecast? I don't know.
Tubecast. What do you call it when you have a podcast, but it's on YouTube? You know, we did do it the right way, I think. I've seen
I'm
people,
glad you finally come around to that, Steve.
I see people talk about how, you know, oh, this person had a video. They did video first and then they took it to podcast.
That's the wrong way. That's the wrong direction.
That's the wrong direction.
Yeah. Because as you're going from higher effort to lower effort, you're supposed to go from something that you can do casually on the weekends into something that takes over your entire life. Which is what I did.
This first ad was sent by Peter.
Yeah, thanks, Peter.
BC Rich Warlock Custom Dip. About this listing, have had this Warlock many years, not sure of its year or exact model name. Had it hydro dipped a few years ago, put brand new custom made bare knuckle HSP 90s in, new knobs, not new pots, and new toggle switch. It plays great and feels great. Few nicks on the edges, but has been filled, sanded, and clear coated. When I had it dipped previously, will come with a whammy bar as well. This guitar could use a good tune-up, though I won't lie. The input jack is a bit touchy and could probably be replaced, and a good touch-up to the truss rod and springs might be needed. That's scary. Though I don't think it's seriously out of whack by any... Oh, they're just saying like an adjustment. But I know that this guitar could use a little love. It's been played many shows and through many bands, and is a true warhorse that can serve you if treated well. BC Rich Warlock Custom Dip, $480, down from $700 on Reverb. Being sold from Ohio. It's got some chips in that finish, but the clear coat looks decent.
Any pointy guitar like this is going to have chips if it gets played at all, especially with a somewhat delicate finish like this. By the way, the finish, I love it.
Yeah, the finish is really fun.
I want to see more BC Riches like this. They don't all have to be black or red crackle or whatever. I love this. The BC Riches have this fun shape. Let's have fun colors on it. It's a good it's a good canvas for this sort of thing.
The sticker combo on the back is great.
I didn't even pay attention. I'll
there's like a there's like a worm, Beanie Baby worm, and then underneath it says, "You think you've felt true fear? You think you've known actual pain?" I don't know what that's from. It feels like from a movie or something.
But it's coming from a cute little stuffed worm. Yeah. I love it. That is fun. I like that. So this was 700 and now it's down to 400?
Yeah.
480. I don't know. I don't know what the price of this should be. I know that there is some collector's value to what used to be dirt cheap BC Riches now, and they're climbing in value. What I want to talk about is the fact that in the decade that you and I have been doing this show together, it feels like BC Rich has been in a constant flux of who owns them now? Are they producing anything?
Right.
Will they produce anything?
Hold on, real quick. Apparently this is a meme, because when you punch in that quote, "You think you felt true fear," it comes up on a whole bunch of like Redbubble.
All right, stuff. Okay.
So anyway, BC Rich. Sorry, so I just had to finish that.
Their existence as a brand has been seemingly uncertain.
Yeah.
On and off for the past 10 years, maybe longer. And looking at these photos, and even recently, they got they're implicated in a situation with a local builder. Iconic Guitars had a contract to build for them, and everything went sour and south apparently, and lots of people are affected. Thanks, BC Rich. So, anyways, what I'm going to pitch is that we should buy BC Rich. 60 cycle.
Do you think we could afford BC Rich?
I don't know if we could have. Business loans exist, right?
Yeah.
We can put up the YouTube channel as collateral, and I'm almost certain that you and I could do a halfway decent job of running BC Rich.
Could we? You think we could?
I think we have enough help in the industry that people could help us figure out how to do it. And all we would have to do, Steve, is not screw up big time. Like, all we'd have to do is make sure some guitars get made of any quality.
What do you think? Okay.
And then the reason to do that is so that I can have, some custom runs made that look like this and get my BC Rich surf guitar made. And
the reality is if you think about where the brand is now,
right?
They're probably doing some sort of, I don't even know what they currently make. Like, if we go to Sweetwater, are we going to see anything?
Well, I don't know if they make anything right now. It sounds like they were OEMing out to other American builders.
I understand that. I'm just saying, like, if I go to Sweetwater, there's $1,600 BC Riches, and that looks like there's a $900, it's on discount BC Rich. So they do have a price range of what looks like that would cover cheap import, maybe mid import,
like hiring Koreans or something like that.
Yeah. Like, where is this Iron Bird made? Can I get a close up of a headstock that will tell me? It just says extreme. We don't, this is one of the unfortunate places where I think you mentioned that you wanted to go down this path. Yeah, this is handcrafted in Korea, and it's $1,900.
Yeah, that's the way things
tough.
The things have been going that direction. A lot of Korean guitars are well over $1,000 now.
Honestly, like, if we had the capital to buy the rights to BC Rich.
I mean, we don't have the capital to buy a BC Rich.
Yeah.
We're talking about buying the whole brand.
But if we had it, like, I think you just want a contract to like a eArt or whatever to just have them start making BC Riches.
I think if we took over the brand, I think immediately we would go capital I import on this thing, and we would be making $600 and $700 Chinese.
Yeah, or like Indonesian or something.
BC Riches, Chinese, Indonesian, in the classic shapes with, there's always, if you go shop GIBSON, there's always going to be sunburst, gold top, so on and so on, a couple classic finishes, cherry red and whatnot. There's always going to be black BC Riches. You always have to have black BC Riches. But as long as the playable quality is there, I think what most people want out of BC Rich, I realize the collectors out there want the high-end stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that eventually. But we're going to focus on, satisfying the market for black BC Riches. But then we're also going to get crazy with colors and finishes and loadouts.
Make some surf guitars.
Surf
Warlock.
Make some interesting decisions that push the boundaries a little bit. Not trying to be completely cheeky, but hey, why not heavy metal flake BC Riches? That would be a lot of fun. Like stuff that can be, like aimed at the metal players that sincerely want BC Rich and the people who kind of ironically want BC Rich. They're looking at it like, that's a fun, wild shape. I like that it has a sparkly, interesting finish on it, but it also appeals to, the more glamorous heavy metal rocker out there that wants to make a statement on stage. And then once you build that up, then you start finding like a US shop and like, let's do small runs, high-end stuff, like satisfy the collector's market, basically. And honestly, I don't know if there needs to be a middle ground, because when BC Rich was making like the real cheap stuff, late 90s into the early aughts and whatnot, it was honestly really poor quality stuff. Like it was, in that low Squire sort of quality point with all your bronzes and things like that. And they were pumping out a ton of those. The cheap stuff now is way better than that. You could make a $500, $600, $700 import BC Rich that kicks ass. And I think that's what people want. They want an affordable out there outlandish guitar shape for not a lot of money, and it's totally deliverable now.
Up until or during the until 2018, BC Rich, I don't know how long, but up until 2018, so for some number of years leading up to 2018, BC Riches were made by Praxis Musical in Orange, up in Orange.
Huh.
That's the same company that makes Sterling and Orangewood.
Yeah.
I say makes, like I'm sure that, they're not making them. They are controlling the manufacturing.
Sure.
But I didn't know that. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
But also, again, this whole situation, that whole BC Rich situation, I think is just very odd and unfortunate. I don't know if it's more odd or more unfortunate.
We're not going to cover all of it, but you can look it up on your own. Go watch the video that Iconic put out a few weeks back. But what do we think about this guitar itself? There's some damage and chipping. That is the headstock chip right there.
That's on the headstock.
That's on the headstock. So that's like,
obviously there's a tuner, idiot. Come on.
That's honestly, I hate that headstock shape. It's my least favorite BC Rich feature. Like it's my least favorite part of any BC Rich is that 3x3 like earwig headstock. It's just over the top. I like the 6-in-line that they do. I also like the more classy. I was going to say classic, and then I decided to change gears and say classy. I like the classier kind of like USA high-end sort of headstock, but you're not going to see that on everything. I don't remember what this version went for originally, but this was kind of like a mid-tier one with the no fret markers and the flat top.
I was going to say I wasn't sure how you could tell, but the no fret markers is probably
there's little chips in the paint,
good indicator
here and there, but that really doesn't bug me. For 400 something bucks, it was 480 or something.
I think like at 300 this starts getting interesting. At 480, I think it's still maybe a bit high.
I don't know. I shopped BC Riches for a while trying to find one that I could turn into a surf guitar.
This could be it.
This one's not far off. Far off. I think the price is really not that ridiculous. If you love it, then you're going to try to buy it. This person's had one offer already and has declined it. They've got 92 watchers. It was listed 4 months ago. People are interested in it. I don't know how much wiggle room there is on it. They've already dropped it down $220. If in my heart I wanted this,
in your heart, deep,
right?
In your heart.
If I didn't already have a problem of having too many guitars around here and not needing new projects, I think this is one that would have tempted me into getting a BC Rich project. And because you know what, even though I hate that headstock, I could have put a different neck on this. I could have found a different neck and swapped it in. I could have put a Fender neck on this. I could have found a generic neck to put on this. I think I would offer $425 and see what would happen.
Okay.
Because that dip is actually really, really fun.
The dip, and I think, like I said, besides the chips, like the obvious wear and tear that, like you said, you're going to get with something this pointy, I think the dip looks pretty good. Oh, it's down to $430, Ryan.
Oh, shoot.
$30 shipping.
But I'm not going to get it. But I was saying, it was purely hypothetical. What I would do, hypothetically, if I did have this, I would swap out those pickups. I don't have anything against those pickups. I'm just not down with the vibe. But double white open coils on this would look really good, especially with those pearl knobs that they have on here. Might swap that bridge. I'm not a big fan of that style bridge that has the big chunk, like the high mass sort of thing going on. I'm not a lover of that. It's got a 2-post thing going on. I wonder if I could throw a Floyd onto this and get a different neck.
I'm still trying to figure out what model this is. I'm not seeing anything without fret markers on Reverb.
Oh, don't search on Reverb. You got to get onto the Googles.
I just figured there would be one for sale.
There might be.
BC Rich Warlock, no inlay. Image Jazz. Scroll. Oh, right away.
See, told you.
Oh, I don't know if that's the same one. This just says kit. It doesn't have pickups. They want 279. Different one.
Different one. That's
Different
got the
one.
headstock that I want, though.
I'm not going to spend any more.
No. Someone in the audience is going to figure it out.
Let us know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's something here. The price seems high, but then there's a bit of a collector's market now for older, junky BC Riches.
And the price came down again, so yeah, who knows? Who knows where this
you
will
might
end up.
might be able to offer $350 and see what they come back with.
Yeah. Well, I want it. Maybe you could offer.
Are those any sort of sports colors that I would get accused of being a fan of something?
Maybe the
orange and turquoise. Is that Dolphins?
It is the Dolphins.
All right. Well, I only know that because of our friend Albert.
Yeah, these are definitely Dolphins.
Because everything in his life is orange and turquoise.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, Ryan.
Miss you, Albert. If you're still out there, I don't know if you still watch the show, but I miss you. You're a good guy.
Ryan. If folks wanted you to buy this guitar really badly, what they could do is they could join our Patreon over at patreon.com/60cyclehumcast.
Smooth transitions.
Where for as little as $1, like if we had 350 people sign up at $1 a month in the week that this episode comes out,
that would be insane.
For that week, for that pay period, I would let you.
It's not about. I just want to make it clear.
No, hold on.
All of you sitting up there with your finger on the super chat button, it's not about the money. It's about storage space and me not having time for a project. So don't buy me this guitar. I'm being serious right now. I know there's some generous people out there. Don't buy me this guitar and don't send it to the UPS box.
Fine.
And that's not me trying to do it like winking. I'm saying don't. I don't have time for more projects right now. But if you did join the Patreon at the $1 level and hundreds of you did it all at once, it would make it possible for us to do a lot more interesting content out here. Yeah. I would be able to buy really interesting things off of Amazon to cover that people are interested in, or interesting things from all sorts of retailers that people might be interested in.
I think if we got 350 $1 subscribers into the Patreon the week this episode airs, it would be a very strong indication that your next Patreon video should be about purchasing and demoing this.
You're not
specific
wrong, because then it would pay for itself over the months.
For itself. Yeah. Well, even if they only did it for like they did the $1 and they cashed out and moved on. It's the demand.
All right. If next week
it can replace your Temu guitar up there.
Steve reads off a list of new Patreon supporters, and we have 350 new $1 Patreon supporters.
Be here a while.
It's going to be a 4-hour-long episode, but I'll see if that BC Rich is still available, and I'll buy it.
What I'll have to do is I'll have to load all the names onto Apple, like a notes file.
Do you know how fast the names are going to scroll at the end?
And I'll have to have it like the Apple reader read all the names off because I won't be able to. I'll have to do it. That's my punishment for suggesting it. You
can tell that you and I are people who have played in guitar in church because we're always begging for money.
Oh my gosh. Well, what there is going to be a point, and we are not there yet, but I think there will be eventually a point where we will have to change the criteria for the scroll. Because it will be going too fast.
There'll be too many people. But that might be... Well, I could do double scroll.
Oh, yeah. Two columns. You just have to use smaller font.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be like movie credits.
Ryan, this Stringjoy box has a lot of fonts on it, actually.
Some many of them fonts are big. It have?
Like this Stringjoy one, that's a font.
Around here, in this house, we
font.
call them typefaces, Steve.
There's another font down here. That's a font. I think that's it. I think there's maybe only 3 different fonts.
That's good, solid design. You don't want to go more than that because then you're starting to get into ransom letter territory.
And that means that not only do the folks at Stringjoy make great strings in Nashville, Tennessee, but they also understand good graphic design. And that's the thing that I appreciate about them.
Well, also it saves you a lot of money because you don't have to license all those typefaces, Steve. And that savings...
I think they're called fonts.
Get past that savings gets passed on to you, and it also gets passed on so that they can buy the powdered baby teeth to coat these strings.
That's right.
Because these strings, the orbiters, are coated in enamel, so they feel nice and slick and smooth, and they don't rust or crust, just like your human teeth. Also, that human baby tooth dust coating these strings gives you that extra bite. So go check out String Joy Strings. This is a set of orbiters. I just put these on my Hallmark, which I used at a show very recently, and I'm hoping that this coated set lasts a long time on that guitar, so I don't have to change strings every time I play.
Use the link down in the description and code HUM at checkout for 10% off the total of your order.
That's right, Steve.
Ryan, this next ad, I don't know who it was sent by because I'm not there yet, but it's called Authentic Shred. And
it was sent by Philip Carter of the 40 Watt Podcast.
Philip. Did you wake up this morning and say to yourself, today I shall buy the craziest Gibson I see on the internet? We should talk. Here's a Gibson you don't see every day. It's the M3 Deluxe, basically Gibson's attempt at a super strat. Per the great and powerful Trogley of YouTube, this is Gibson's best iteration of the many wild guitars that came out of the late 80s and early 90s. This wild guitar features a very cool multi-wood construction, a maple neck, a Gibson branded Floyd style trim, and a unique HSH setup with the two-way toggle that flips the neck and bridge pickups from humbucker to single coil mode and back. It's wild. It does a lot, and it looks pretty gnarly with a K, not a G. I don't know why.
Gnarly.
It's in good shape with some small dents here and there and a bit of checking, but nothing major. Includes the fitted Gibson hardshell cases pictured, but I'm not sure if it's original. Shipping, no problem. Cash is cool. Local trades are swell, but this is you probably didn't read this. I'm in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. I do accept non-local trades only under certain conditions.
You're reading too much, Steve.
Yeah, other stuff.
That's not I do not.
No, I do not want to trade for a Lion guitar signed by Billy Idol. So it was. I was getting to more important.
All right, that is important information.
Where's the price on this? There it is, $2,400 and $75 also.
I don't know if that's a fair price for these, but I have always admired these. Like, this might be one of my favorite Gibsons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really interesting, like walking around NAMM last week.
Yeah.
This long top horn body style is back. Like, you see a lot of this. Like, this is essentially like, there's a lot of Ernie Ball guitars that have this sort of thing going on. There's a lot of like modern metal-y guitars that have this body shape that are kind of referencing this situation. Only like, there's a classiness to this. Like, I think I appreciate this Gibson a lot more than a lot of other Gibsons. And it's such not a normal Gibson. Like, it's so different than every other Gibson. There was a local band that I used to go see when I was in college where the guitarist would play one of these. His was white, though.
I don't think I've ever seen one of these in a natural finish.
I was wondering if this has been refinished, because I don't think I've ever seen them in natural either.
And in fact, I'm looking at an M3 that has the same pickup layout and the same pick guard and everything else, but it's black.
Right.
So I'm wondering if this was black and then it was
if
stripped.
I remember, the ones I've seen have always been black, white, or red.
There was a gloss one or a natural one in the 90s, but it wasn't like this.
No.
This one, the natural one.
Well, there's like sandwiching going on with this that I'm not sure you would have normally seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also there is some figuring to the wood, and like it does look really nice and sharp. Like if it was stripped and refinished, someone did a really good job of it.
I guess the red ones from that same time period also had that pick guard.
Oh, is that a green one?
That's a green one, but it's a newer one, 2013.
They made them in 2013?
Yeah, I think they just did like a single year run.
You're way too close to your mic. There you go. Fixed it. Does everyone feel better about Steve's voice now?
Here's a walnut, poplar, and maple finished in antique natural.
That's it.
It's not. It's not that, because this has a red stripe on it and the back is totally different.
But it looks like the same exact build style.
Oh no, the back isn't different.
I think they just slightly different wood. That's it. Or maybe
what's up with this red stripe?
Different lighting or slightly different wood or.
It's very similar.
Yeah, that's the same build. It's got the same inlays on the neck and everything.
This one sold for $3,600.
I mean, these are definitely out of my price point, and they're way out of my playing style and skill set. Yeah. You know, like the person that had one of these in a local band, like they were a ripper, and I'm not a ripper. But I enjoy seeing them every time I see them. Like they're like a really nice piece of furniture.
You could be a ripper, right? If you bought this guitar.
If I bought this, I could be a ripper. I could just shred.
Jesse and the Rippers.
Mark, if you're watching, get Gibson to redo these.
Here's another one. Here's another antique amber.
Like this could be. Gibson could take this shape and do a modified take on this and go headless.
That would be
this could be the platform for a modern headless multi-scale 7/8 string sort of build, because they already have a modern shape here. They could do some sort of like knee cutaway like you see on all the headless things. They could do some sort of fancy cuts around the butt to like they could cut in around the trim or whatever to give it that headless super lightweight thing going on. I say this is it, Gibson. This is the thing that you've been waiting for. I know you've been waiting for it, for an opportunity to break back into modern guitars, bring back this model, the M3, but modify it for modern tastes.
You could have pitched that whole idea to Gibson had you gone to that Gibson event.
I wasn't invited, Steve.
But you were at Disneyland instead.
But I wasn't even invited. I probably could have walked in.
I think it was just.
But also, from what I hear,
open invitation.
There wasn't any. I don't think there was anyone who was in control of anything there. It was just open house.
Yeah, it was just go in and take whatever you want.
No, I could. Maybe I'll Photoshop this up together. I'll Photoshop it together, and here I'll do a clean pitch for the TikTok short here, guys. I think I'm going to Photoshop my idea together here to turn the Gibson M3 into a modern headless model, and then I'll tie. And I'm trying to do it clean here, and I'm stumbling all over my words. Okay, one more try, guys. You're watching this in real time. You know what, Steve?
Yeah, Ryan.
I just have this idea that Gibson should take the M3 design from the 90s and they should rework it to be a modern headless guitar. And I think I should Photoshop it together. Maybe I'll put it up here on the screen and, tag Mark Agnesi and he can see it. And maybe he can pass on the idea to people up at the, the headquarters of Gibson who do all the R&D and stuff. I think this is Gibson's opportunity to reintroduce the modern market, to re-enter the modern market of modern guitar design. There we go. There's a hot little clip there.
There you go. You
for the
did
Instagrams
it.
and the shorts and the reels.
Under a minute.
Thanks for timing it, Steve.
I was making sure. Making sure it was going to work.
That didn't feel forced or unnatural.
No, it was great.
That's sincere.
It's fantastic. Ryan.
Yes, Steve.
What's new?
Oh man, I mean, at this point, like it's been a full week since Dinosaur Ghost played in Long Beach for the Winter Surf Fest.
It's been 1 week,
but we're still filming this before I actually got to do that. So, however it went,
you're playing this weekend.
I'm playing this weekend,
February 3rd or whatever,
Sunday. But it's gonna be too late.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know. I just for some reason I thought it was later in February.
No, it's this weekend. I'm driving up to Long Beach to play with Dinosaur Ghost. We had a practice. I'm going to talk about that as what's new. We had a practice here at this house. Usually we practice at the bass's house because he always has like band stuff set up and we can be loud over there. But he's getting construction done, building an ADU behind his house. So we came over here and we used the Roland V drums.
Okay.
And I ran them through that powered Fender speaker that I have and a Boss Katana so we could get some nice width from the drum kit. So two guitar amps for the drum kit. And then I busted out the new Rev.
Okay.
The other guitarist used the new Rev, and I used the Tone King, and we sounded fantastic. It sounded really, really good.
Sounded just like a yacht club.
Yeah, I busted out the Yacht Club, mix. So I was pretty stoked about using those. And then I threw Mitch is the bassist on my Boss Katana, my Boss bass katana for bass guitars. And that sounded good too.
Is that what you think you're going to run that setup for the show?
No, that was just for practicing here at home. But it was kind of fun to do like a lower volume practice here at the house, because usually it's like full drum kit, full volume. It was neat to be kind of quiet and have just kind of a chill practice. Like Lauren still thought it was pretty loud.
Of course.
But if we did a comparison against like a regular drum kit, it would have, I'm sure it would have been like 10, 15 decibels lower easily. Yeah. You know, but I had a good time. Maybe we'll do it again over here. I want to get the drum kit moved into here in this room and maybe shoot some little videos and stuff like that. And I want to get to the place with Dinosaur Ghost where we're starting to get creative working on some songs again. We've been doing a thing where it's like we play every 6 months.
Right.
What I need to do is I need to sit down with GarageBand or a recorder or something like that. And I need to just knock out like 3 demos and then have the guys over and just start working on songs, because I want to start moving that direction again. I want. We've had the same 10 songs for 10 years. Let's get 3 more songs for 3 more years.
There you go.
There's the goal.
There you go.
What do you got new, Steve?
I got a rat.
Like a pedal?
No, like living in my garage.
That's not the kind of rat that you want, Steve.
We're trying to.
You have like a lot of boxes in there and stuff.
Yeah, well, so it was living underneath the shed, and then I think it was actually during NAMM, the first night of NAMM. My wife texted me. And was like, something ran under my feet when I was taking out the trash.
Oh, cool.
So I think she had the garage door, like the side door open or whatever, and the rat ran into the garage.
From the house?
From the shed.
Oh,
from underneath the shed, where it's probably been living for a long time.
Yeah.
So I need to go get some kind of rat trap situation, I think, because we've been trying to leave the garage door open at night to see if it will just leave. Like, not all the way open, just like cracked, right?
Do you think it's a big one?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it doesn't want to leave, it seems like, because
it's warm in there.
Yeah, and it's chewing through the rubber gasket at the bottom of my garage door. So basically it's like, I mean, the rubber gasket's still there, but I may have to replace it.
Do you think it's trying to get out when it's doing that?
I don't know.
Just leave the garage door open like an inch.
No, that's what I've been doing. I've been leaving it open like only like an inch. But it hasn't left, and like you said, it's cold at night, so maybe it doesn't want to leave.
Right.
So
it's probably chewing to get materials to make a nest.
That's what it kind of seems like. But I think probably tomorrow, it's supposed to rain, but probably tomorrow I'm gonna buy like a no-kill trap.
All right.
And try to, if I trap it, I'll just take it over to like there's a bunch of like open fields by my house. I'll just drive it over there and let it go.
I've got a squirrel trap you could borrow.
Maybe that's what I need to do.
That's a no-kill squirrel trap.
Yeah. So that's my deal.
Yeah.
Got a rat.
You've got a rat. You got to get rid of it.
Not the kind that I want. Not a Proco rat. Not a woodcutter. Not a what other rat? Not a 1981 DRV.
Right.
Just a plain,
just regular old
rodent
in your garage. One time. I didn't use my grill for a long time.
Yeah.
And I opened it up and I was like, what the hell? There's a clown wig in here. It was like red and yellow and green, this big clump of like fuzzy. It looked like a clown wig.
Yeah.
And a rat had gotten in there and started to make a nest, and I realized later what it was. The rat had shredded up bungee cords.
Oh.
And had fluffed it into this big clown wig mound in my grill.
Interesting.
But I that was the last straw for that grill, because it was already rotten out, and I was just like, all right, this is going in a dumpster sort of situation.
Yeah. I think I have a feeling that this creature is living inside a golf bag.
Ooh. When you find what it's been inside of, you're not going to want to keep it.
Oh, I know.
It's going to be full of little raisins.
No, yeah.
for you.
Well,
and,
because
it's going to smell like piss. And it's
I had to throw away. So we had a couple car seats in the shed that like I was waiting for like a Target buyback, or not buyback, but like a Target donation deal for those. And I went in my shed one day a few months ago, and the car seat like fabric was all shredded. So I just ended up throwing them away, which I think is technically illegal, but you're supposed to like take those to the fire department or something.
The car seat?
Car seats.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean, I cut up all the straps and stuff, so it wouldn't be usable. Yeah. But yeah, I know there's some weird rules around throwing away car seats.
I didn't know that. I haven't thrown
away.
I
don't know.
I haven't thrown away a car seat yet, so I guess I'll find out. I never look up. I never look up. Am I allowed to throw this thing away when I throw a thing away?
I could be super wrong about that. It might just be illegal to resell them or something.
Like, oh well, I can see that. Like, because they're not up on current codes and laws and stuff like that. Yeah. I know you're not supposed to throw car batteries in the ocean.
Oh,
I don't do that.
How did you learn about that, Ryan?
From the news. From finding out about people throwing car batteries in the ocean.
Yeah. You know, car battery, Ryan, it has the same two initials as the next sponsor of the show.
Oh my gosh, he did it again.
They have sponsored the show. They've been sponsoring the show for a very long time. They had no new pedals at NAMM because they were at the Effectors Market, but they didn't have, I don't think they had any new pedals there either.
I mean, they just came out with a Lossy.
They did just come out with a Lossy.
Yeah.
Which by all accounts sounds fantastic. They have the Generation Loss 2, which is apparently perfect for lo-fi blues playing. And they've got all sorts of other pedals that you guys should go check out at chasebliss.com. While you're there, get on their mailing list so when they have sales, which do not happen that often, or they have new product or they have limited release stuff, you're going to find out about it. And all you're going to be is on a mailing list. Make your mailing list count. I'm not saying get on every mailing list, but I'm saying if there's a brand that you like, get on their mailing list.
So I was talking
especially if it's chasebliss.com.
I was talking to Joel, Mr. Chase Bliss himself, at that event, and he is such just a warm beam of white light moving through the world and just brings joy to every person that he encounters. He had tuned into an episode where I was being self-deprecating.
Oh, really?
about us and our sponsorship and being like, is this effective? Is this marketing working? Are you guys buying Chase Bliss pedals off of our insane rambling that we do here and stuff? And he's like, you shouldn't do that. Like, I believe in you guys. What you do on the show is great, and you guys are a great investment for me and stuff. So I'm gonna try my best, Joel. I'm going to try my best to not be self-deprecating. And I'm going to say that I think this advertising that we're doing and have been doing with Chase Bliss Audio has been incredibly effective. And I know it's been effective. And I have full faith that it's going to be effective. And I want you guys to prove it. Take pictures of your Chase Bliss stuff. Tag us and Chase Bliss on Instagram, Facebook, TikToks, wherever. Just take pictures of your Chase Bliss and say, hey, thanks, Chase Bliss. Thanks, 60 Cycle Hum. Just, tag us together. Make it obvious. Let us see if truly this advertising has been effective. How about that? And if it hasn't been, then I guess Joel is wrong and I'm right. And then we're going to lose Chase Bliss as a sponsor.
Wow.
We wouldn't. We wouldn't. Joel loves us and believes in us and just wants to support the show out of the kindness of his heart, whether it's effective or not. But I do want to see your guys' Chase Bliss pedals. Show me your boards. Publish your boards with your Chase Bliss pedals on it and tag us and tag Chase Bliss. There we go.
Ryan.
I tried and I still got self-deprecating. Okay.
Ryan.
Go ahead, Steve.
Ryan.
Yes.
Been trying to get out of this.
All right.
What are your gear goals? Let's talk about.
That's our topic.
Here's the thing: is everyone else did their gear goal for their last episode of 2023 or the first episode of 2024.
Well, we always do.
Here we are in mid-February.
We always do. We call it New Gears resolutions, and that kind of just got by us this year, and we didn't do it for whatever reason. I think we did like a live video or like holidays lined up weird.
Yeah,
but we still have solid gear goals for this year and for into the future. So, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
You can go first, I think.
My gear goal, and I was thinking about this around New Year's, and I'm still thinking about it now, and I've been living it. I've been living this gear goal. I've been using kind of the same 2 guitars for demos for a long time now. The Strat, because it's got humbuckers and single coils, and then my Jazzmaster back there because it's got a humbucker and a single coil and single coil tones across, that Alameda switch for the bridge pickup as well. I want to say screw it. I want to say, who cares anymore? This is 60 cycle hum, baby. Things are going to get weird. If I demo a Tube Screamer, it's not necessarily going to be with a guitar that makes sense. I just want to play all my fun guitars. I got a lot of fun guitars around. I want to be more fearless about that. I don't want to be worried about being like the demo for whatever thing I'm demoing. If I don't sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan, that wasn't going to happen anyways, because it doesn't matter what guitar I play. I'm not going to sound like that. Yeah, right. I do want to show off like some standard sounds, but like I also want to play my fun guitars. I want to play guitars that have different pickup loadouts and maybe don't cover like the most standard bases possible. So that's my gear goal for 2024, is to get out of that bubble, to break free of these restraints I've put on myself and just start playing guitars and having fun in demos and not worrying about it being, this, middle of the road representation of what you can expect.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna play what I want to play.
Do some goofy shit.
Yeah. What's your gear goal?
My gear goal is to just play more and maybe make things. So if we can.
Oh. Here we go.
Apparently, I'm taking this stuff home with me tonight.
Yeah. So I got the new Rev amp back there, the D25. So I was thinking, Steve is talking about doing some demos and filming at home and playing at home. I was like, Steve should take the D20.
Yeah.
Because this is a great recording platform. It's got headphone out. It's got virtual cabs built in from 2 Notes. And then it's got XLR out. And it's got an internal load. No jokes. It's got an internal load, so you don't even have to have a speaker plugged into it, and you can use it as a tube amp head. And it's a great, kind of warm, clean, pedal platform.
I was playing one of these at NAMM, and I really liked the sounds I was getting out of it.
They're really solid little.
The MGK Razor Blade guitar.
Oh, of course. And Steve, I don't know if you knew about this feature.
What other feature?
Check this out. This is going to blow your mind. The handle folds down.
Yeah, I did know that.
Oh, who spoiled it?
It's pretty obvious the way that it's designed.
Because of the way it is.
Yeah. Then I'm going to take this Zoom H8.
Yep.
And then I started finding a couple camera stands and lighting stands on Amazon. So hopefully I'll get those ordered by, say, the end of the week that we're recording this. And I'll get my room all set up so my live streams will work better, the live streams I do with Philip. And then hopefully I can start putting some just real basic demos, probably just doing stuff out of my collection and whatnot to start. Which is of course, that's what we always say. Like, people come to us all the time, even at NAMM, still, what should I do to make more demos and stuff? It's like, well, have you demoed everything you own yet?
Yeah. Steve has a lot of stuff he owns and he hasn't demoed any of it yet. So
it's true.
He's got a lot of stuff to cover. Steve has been filming things and editing. He's been learning editing. He's edited a thing. He's
I don't know
doing the work. I'm impressed.
I don't know if by the time this episode comes out, if any of my NAMM videos will be done, but I'm hoping they will.
There's no expiration date.
No, I know, and my computer time, because of my job and everything, it's hard to find time to edit. And I'm estimating right now I probably need to find 10 to 15 hours to edit it all for 18 minutes of video. Right. But it's because I'm learning the software too. I don't really know, I know some rudimentary stuff in DaVinci. So all of this gear goal stuff, it all comes back to just learning how to do these kind of creator type things that I've just never really had the time or space to get into, and now I do.
There you go.
10 years later.
Well, whenever. It's always been open, open invitation. This is both of our channels. I've done most of the demo stuff, the vast majority of it, and now you have an interest in it. We both built this channel together via the podcast, so might as well go for it. Now you feel like doing it. Now you're interested in doing it. Now do it, And
it's going to be fun.
You've got a workspace to do it in at home, and that's, a big part of it.
I'm going to run bass through the Rev.
Why not? It's
going to sound sick.
No, it actually would probably sound really good.
No, I think it would.
Yeah. Bring it up here real quick. There's one more thing I want to show you, Steve.
Yeah, because I'm going to remember all of this.
No, this is easy. This is an easy part of this.
Okay.
So it's mostly clean.
Mm-hmm.
It gets more saturated across the gain knob, but it is a push-pull.
Ooh.
And it gets dirtier. So
okay.
you have access to more gain across.
Well, I noticed when I was playing around with the NAMM that these buttons can make it a little dirtier too.
Well, this is your 20 watt to 4 watt sort of thing. That's not really going to matter for you because you're not running into a cab. But the pre and the post is for your effects loop. So if you want to put reverb before or after or delay or something like that, that's what that's for.
Turn those knobs.
Yeah, turn the knobs, Steve.
So I think I don't have any pedals or guitars or anything that are in the forefront of my mind. Someone asked that the other day, like, if there was any gear that I was thinking about buying in 2024, and it's like, I tend to not know I want something until I see it.
Yeah, and then when you see it and you want it, you get it then. Like I don't have anything planned out. I mean, I always in the back of my mind want a Cower Banshee. Like that's been in my head for way too long, and someday I'll make it happen. But I'm not planning on that for, like, you got to have something in your head that's like, that's nice. I've been wanting for years either a vintage Yamaha or one of the 90s reissues of like the Samurai headstock, like, like a SGV 300s or 600s or whatever, 900s, 800s. It was one of the hundreds. I want one of those. So it's like, that's an opportunistic thing. If I happen to run across one and it's a good price and the color that I want, maybe it'll happen. I still, I'd love to have a Hallmark Mosrite style, maybe that'll happen. Maybe it won't. Like I'm always in this constant flux of having too much and having stuff that I need to work with so that I can get to the place where I can buy the things that I want sincerely for myself.
Right.
Like there's the work versus the what I want sort of balance, and the what I want balance gets on the back burner. So
yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. What are your guys's gear goals?
Yeah, let us know what you want to do with gear this year. Maybe if there's stuff you want to buy. Like I said, like I'm buying things. I'm buying lights. I'm buying stands.
Yeah. Maybe your goal is to sell everything.
Yeah.
Maybe you have like a minimalist goal. You're like, I've had too much for too long. I want to get down to one acoustic, one electric, one amp, and maybe 4 pedals or something like that.
I was bummed you weren't able to make that your other NAMM video idea.
What was the other NAMM video idea?
Guitars are just like guitars or whatever.
I have this idea floating around my head, and I couldn't make the words. I think the language part of my brain was blown out the last day of NAMM. I walked around for like an hour trying to film this thing. I think I just need to like sit down and write it out and read it like poetry. But like I have this whole thing in my head around the idea that guitar doesn't matter. And that's what I love about it, is that it doesn't matter. And so I'll do some sort of kind of like douchey Adam Neely sort of video with that at some point.
Adam seems like a nice guy.
I'm not saying that Adam is douchey. Adam Neely is legitimately a nice guy, and I've got to hang out with him a couple times, but I'm saying that I will be channeling some douchey sort of stuff when I do it. I know that came out wrong, but you guys know what I mean, right? It's gonna be self-reflective and pretending to be deep, and
I'm just gonna
it's just clickbait.
I'm gonna cut that out, and it's just gonna be a 2-second Instagram.
Adam Neely, if you were told about this video and you came here trying to find the clip where people said that I thought you were a douche, I hope that I've clarified, because I definitely don't think you're a douche, Adam Neely.
He's only going to watch to that one spot, and he's not going to watch past it.
He's going to hear those couple words and like, that's it. He said it. I'm not gonna wait around to find out what he said next.
When this publishes, I'm gonna go in OSB and I'm just gonna record those 2 seconds. And I'm gonna send it to him.
I can't imagine that Adam has ever watched any of our videos. Like there's nothing that we do over here that I think he would find interesting at all.
Do people watch because they find things interesting, or because they find
I'm back to being self-deprecating. So
anyway,
there we go. Sorry, Joel.
Yeah, let us know your gear goals down in the comments. What you want to do this year, whether it's buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing,
or playing or podcasting,
or if you want to start a podcast, we can give you some tips and pointers on that as well.
If you want to start a YouTube channel, apparently a few weeks ago everyone quit, so there's space now. So you can get on YouTube right now if you want, because everyone quit all at the same time apparently.
This last ad was sent by Mr. B.
Mr. B.
Blueberry handmade dreadnought guitar bookstore motif with Alaskan spruce and mahogany. Blueberry handmade acoustic and electric guitars and accessories are made on the tropical island of Bali by our experienced team of traditional wood carvers and artisans who have been practicing their craft for generations. Our unique workshop has been creating singular objects of musical and visual beauty since 2005. This is your opportunity to own a unique instrument or to gift someone something that can be cherished for future generations. The guitar in these photos can be recreated for you based on the exact same materials and specifications as the original, or we can modify it as you like. If you'd like to create your very own design, we love challenges. Our artists will sketch out your ideas for your approval before we start building. Excuse me. And
so this is just the copy is peddling a service. It's not talking about this individual guitar. So you don't need.
Well, you could get a guitar like this.
You could get a guitar like this. Yeah. I don't hate this. The price is redonkulous. And I hate to use foul language.
$28.50
like that spicy adult language, like redonkulous.
This is on Reverb or Etsy?
I think it was on Etsy. It's a rare find, Steve. I like it. I think it fits a vibe very nicely. The debate here is, well, I mean, the price is a big debate. Like this is the sort of thing people fall in love with and buy on their vacation to Bali. Like this is a tourist item, which is, fine and great. But the debate in my mind is technically this follows my art rules.
Okay.
Because the bookshelves are horizontal with the guitar when the guitar is being played. So the books aren't going to fall off the shelf. But this is going to look real weird hanging on the wall. Especially if you hang it in your library. I mean, it's library themed. This is a guitar for people with books. This is a guitar for people with a library. And they're all going to slide to one side and then fall off if you put this thing vertical on the wall. So I don't know. That's all I got. What do you think, Steve? I kind of like what they did. Look at the pattern they carved into the bridge. That's going to get really greasy and grimy if you play this a lot, but I kind of like the look of it.
Sorry, I'm
Steve's
very...
Look at the picture.
Which part am I looking at? The bridge?
The bridge. It's got like a clamshell sort of thing.
They do a lot of different things. I'm going to post a couple screenshots to add on to here from their website. They have a guitar that they say is currently on loan to the Indonesian World Expo. It's an electric guitar with some very
that looks fancy,
innate wood carving.
That looks like it would definitely be worth what they're asking for this.
For this one, they are asking, where was it? $15,000.
Wow.
And they have some other.
Yeah, make sure you put that on the drive.
Other Guitar Dragon things, and they're not using like cheap parts.
No.
That one had. Well, this one doesn't say, but that other one had. These ones. This one also says it has Seymour Duncan pickups, so it's not like they're using. I say cheap, but at least for the pickups, they're using like Seymour Duncans.
That looks like an undeniable art piece. Yeah. Where this looks more like the book one looks more like a tourist sort of purchase.
Now it is curious. Again, I don't know anything about this brand. When I looked up Blueberry guitars, there are things that people are saying, "What's the deal with these? They have been around a long time."
Also, I'm looking at the construction of this one, and it looks. I'm not an acoustic guitar expert, but like this shot right here at the butt end.
Mm-hmm.
Like the top looks really thick to me. Maybe that's just a binding. It's hard to tell. But just the construction looks a little bit funny to me. I don't know.
So some people
I'm not expecting this to be like, like a high end American style build. Like it's. But I don't know. There's something about it that is giving me, kind of like Mexican flea market vibes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've taken that and turned it into their canvas. So there's no way of knowing if this is going to be an amazing playing guitar for that kind of money, or if you're just playing for the art.
It is really hard. When I looked for reviews, apparently acousticguitarforum.com, people really have been negative about them, but it sounds like most of the people on there haven't played them. So it's
that's the thing.
They're just looking at them from I don't care how hard the carving is because I don't like I don't like the carving.
Right. I mean, hey, listen, guys, if 5,000 of you out there join the Patreon at the $1 level, I'll fly to Bali. Is that how you pronounce it? I'll fly to Bali and I'll try one of these and I'll fly back home and I'll report on it. I'm not going to buy it. That'll just be, to cover my cost of flying there and, like a place to stay. Maybe I'll bring my wife along. We'll hang out for a week or so just so I can make sure that I get enough time to
really go check this out.
To thoroughly check out this guitar. And then I'll come back home and I'll report on it so you guys can find out exactly what we're dealing with here. It's worth it, right? That's the kind of hard-hitting, investigative reporting you guys come to this channel for. And I'm happy to provide that as a service. We just need thousands and thousands of you to support us at the $1 level on Patreon.
One of the forums I was reading briefly was saying that
just now while we are recording, who's reading the forum?
Well, because reading about this guitar was saying that they do use a different bracing than what you typically find on typical a Taylor or a Martin or whatever. Someone's probably going to point out that Taylor and Martin don't use the same bracing. I don't know anything about that stuff.
Well, I think Taylor uses some sort of laser cut, biomechanical bracing.
Right
in there that looks all weirdly organic but cybernetic at the same time. And then Martin uses timbers from burned down churches.
You're just saying words, aren't you?
I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on inside an acoustic guitar.
So apparently it's a little different. So it just says that these sound unique.
Yeah.
It's not saying they're good or bad.
Someone got mad at me in the comments section today because I didn't know what drugs Dimebag was into.
Yeah, I saw that. Dude really went off because
sorry, I don't know everything.
Because you should know that a Dimebag is marijuana specific, and that Dimebag Daryl, the reason that he only wanted to buy Dimebags is because that way if he got arrested, he wouldn't have enough on him to get a serious sentence. Because
you're telling me more than that I'm interested in. I don't actually care. And the commenter told me way more than I was interested in.
I didn't even read it all. It was very angry, and apparently you said something bad about a dead person who can't defend themselves, and that's very cowardly of you. That's what the commenter
if
said. Someone
wants to bring Dimebag back to life, then he can be on the show, and I'll say those things to his face, and he can correct me.
Yeah.
We're talking about a comment on an episode from 4 weeks ago now.
Yeah. Go back and watch the MGK episode.
Yeah, apparently the takeaway from the episode is that I don't know shit about Dimebag, which I could tell you. I know that I don't know anything about Dimebag. Yeah. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't feel bad at all.
And also, I guess you should have known. Do people look at us? Serious question. Do people look at us?
Look at our faces here.
These faces and think we know anything about the kind of razors that would go in shaving equipment?
Well, I do kind of know what razors go into shaving equipment.
Well, apparently we were supposed to know that the kind of razor that the MGK razor blade guitar is the kind that would go in a thing of shaving equipment, and not the kind that you would use to cut cocaine.
I think you could probably use anything sharp and flat to cut cocaine.
But
I think that can we stop talking about this? This was 3 weeks ago.
Ryan, Let's do some Adventurers
Oh,
Club.
yeah.
All right, we got the Psychedelic Warlock. I know you really like that one, but you also said you wanted to you were going to do a TikTok about Authentic Shred and send it to Mark Agnesi. So I don't even know if you can pick one. How about I just stay out of it and you spin the wheel on yourself? And then you're guaranteed to win, finally.
No, I want you to pick one.
Oh, man.
I think I'm going Psychedelic Warlock.
I'm going to go Authentic Shred.
All right,
Let's
it's wheel
do
time.
it.
It's wheel time.
We're just going to do closest. Ryan modified the wheel, so if he finally wins, it's because he cheated. He rigged it somehow.
Green is spin again.
Okay.
Because that's directly in the middle.
It's in the middle.
Yeah.
All right.
And I put a pick as the thing because the other thing was falling off.
Is that the Chris pick?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's just regular
Fender
Fender
that would be funny
Tort.
if it was.
It's a heavy Fender Tort. Steve won.
I won.
You won.
I won.
Congratulations, Philip Carter of the 40 Watt Podcast. This is feels a little bit nepotism-y since he is like your Sunday once a month co-host.
I want to say this,
but he did pick a good ad. So
I want to say this.
That's all it takes.
I want to give a thanks. This is late, and this will not affect Philip. Riley Anderson won 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and he wanted to pay it forward. So actually, last week's winner with the SG is going to get a $50 one. So I just want to say thank you, Riley, for passing that forward. Do we want to talk about potentially modifying the Adventurers Club? Because we talked about that too.
Steve has an idea, and we want to know.
No, Riley had this idea.
Riley had the idea?
Riley had the idea.
Riley had the idea that since I've got 5 totes full of old Affordable pedals, what if people could request a random Affordable pedal or two instead of their $25 digital gift certificate?
Yeah. So basically, if you wanted 2 Affordable pedals, I would just pack those up, ship them to you.
It wouldn't be the sort of thing where you get to pick. Steve would pick for you.
Yeah.
But
everybody's going to get 2 compressors until we're out of compressors. I'm kidding. That would be, but I'm not cruel.
Honestly, like if we did 2 a week, that would probably clear most of them out after a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot over there. There's a lot of Affordable pedals. And I do need to thin the herd. It's ridiculous. So
and that's assuming people every week we're taking them.
Right. I mean, it's an option. It's an option. It's not a given. You get to choose $25 digital gift card printed on heavy virtual card stock, or you get to pick
2 Affordable pedals.
2 Affordable pedals.
I'll probably throw a couple stickers or something in there.
You're going to need to get some like sort of bubble wrap because I don't have the boxes anymore.
Dude, I'm going to flat rate everything in flat rate mailers.
But those flat rate mailers they're bubbly, but they're not thick.
I'll take each pedal and wrap them in a bubble.
Okay. All right. They're free. Yeah.
I got a system.
All right.
I've done this before.
And if they don't get there safe, we'll send you a fresh one.
You don't save the boxes for all those?
No, dude. Do you know how ridiculous that would be?
I'm joking. This week's song.
I save the boxes for any pedal that's worth more than like $80.
No, I get it.
So that I can resell it someday. But like the Affordable pedals, the moment I take it out of the box, the box is dead to me. I can't keep that stuff.
This week's song was sent by 6was9. He says, they said, I don't know. Track submission, Hey Romeo by the Shiny Brites. Submitted for your approval is an MP3 of Hey Romeo, a track from the Shiny Brites off their CD EP Los Pollos Estrellas. The song is a response track to Dire Straits' Romeo and Juliet.
What does Estrellas mean?
Stars, I think.
The chicken stars?
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting that wrong.
Someone tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
made a song. Just got to tell you now where we went wrong. We both had our dreams, the so-called better life. Had to do what I did just to survive. It wasn't easy, promises came night and day. Held on for so long, then I let them take me away. How about it? If only I knew what it would take out of me, wouldn't have fallen forced through the trees. How about it? If only you knew how my heart's been through the mill, you'd take me back in time, would stand still. Hey, hey, Romeo, you gotta get a grip. Both dreamt of the day of striking it rich, but I didn't mean to hurt you or leave you out. You were always in my thoughts, don't ever doubt. We were so good together and I still love you. Let me make it up, believe that it's true. Hey, hey, Romeo, how about it? If only I knew what it would take out of me, wouldn't have fallen forced through the trees. How about it? If only you knew how my heart's been through the mill, you'd take me back in time, would stand still. Hey, hey, Romeo, how about it? Hey, hey, Romeo. Hey, hey, Romeo, how about it?
Kind of a neat little avant-garde spoken word piece there.
Incidentally, this is what my guitar pedal demos are going to sound like.
I can't wait for you to screw up our algorithms.
By the way, we only have a handful of songs left,
Send more.
so please send more.
We've been getting some real bangers for a while
Yeah.
now. And I want to say, I just want to put it out there.
Okay.
That's not expected of you.
Mm-hmm.
You can send us your bedroom recordings. You can send us, some sort of gritty punk rock thing you recorded on a VHS tape and then turned it into a digital file at some point. It doesn't have to be high polished, like professional quality stuff. We just want to hear the music that you guys are making of any quality. Like if it's real weird, sure. If it's real gritty, sure. If it's unfinished, sure. Send it. Like, we're gonna play it as long as you're ready to show it off. We're ready to play it. So just send it. All right. Bye, everybody.
Stay grounded.